Happy Mother's Day, everybody. Savor the Burn in the house. We got a fancy cocktail coming up. We have a tasty treat. And we have a very special guest on this episode of Savor the Burn. Let's go! Hello, everyone, and welcome to this special Mother's Day bonus edition of the Savor the Burn podcast. My name is Jonathan. Across the barrels from me is Mr. W2. And who do we have here with us, Mr. Sir?
Well, we finally have on camera Ms. Katie.
Hello.
Our third Mother's Day and our first with her on camera.
Yep.
Indeed.
Definitely glad to have you along with us.
Thank you.
We're stoked. She's the one that makes all of the tasty treats. Well, 90% of the tasty treats. Yeah, we do have one here. Before we get into it, what do we have here?
Yes, so this is a quick whip, and that just basically means that we're going out of town tomorrow, and I didn't want to do dishes. I didn't want to make a mess in the kitchen, so I scoured the cabinets to try to figure out. So we have our good old standby of some chocolate bark. We had the peanuts, we had the sprinkles, we had the almond fudge. So the almond bark, so we had to mix it all together. 5 minutes.
I recognize
5 minutes.
I recognize the sprinkles from Henry's party bananas that he likes for breakfast.
Party bananas?
Yeah.
Yes.
You ever heard of a party banana?
Not in this setting.
Okay. Oh my!
Family show. Please tell me what is
that? Didn't take long.
Nope.
You take a banana, you slice in half.
Okay.
You put some peanut butter on there, and then you just douse it with some confetti sprinkles.
I think I'm game for a party banana. This is going to start being a thing at my house.
That constitutes a party.
Peanut butters plus bananas equals party. You throw some sprinkles on there, it's a party banana. Boots and pants.
No.
Well, welcome to the podcast, my friend. So, what's the cocktail going to be today?
You want to talk about this, or you want me to jump in?
So we went down to Florida to celebrate my birthday. It was a bucket list item. And so while we were there, obviously food and drink on the itinerary pretty significantly. And so we ended up at a Swan Reserve, which is a Disney World property, or I think it's Marriott affiliated. But anyway, down in Orlando. And so we went to the hotel, and of course I always do a little bit of research, so I found this bar in the hotel. Yeah, it was a notebook, let's be real. So we ended up at the hotel. In the bar there, it was Stir, and they had a lot of whiskey options, and so also trying to find out some places that would match your taste and things like that. So you had something that was smoked, I believe.
Yes.
I don't recall what that was, but my selection was banana hands. I feel like when you're in Florida, you have to have a little bit of that kind of tropical. How many more banana jokes can we make today, folks? We'll see. But
a counter down there in the corner of the screen.
Yes. So I felt like we had to get a little tropical when we're down in Florida. It was January when we went, so really gnarly here in Kansas City.
Yeah.
So I selected the banana hands. And so I really enjoyed it. And so I think that's what you're going to whip up today.
Yeah. So there at Stir at Swan Reserve, they made theirs with Brothers Bond, bottled in bond bourbon whiskey, and did not have that in the cabinet. I've had it before. It's a really good, solid bottled in bond bourbon. For this one, bottled in bond also means 100 proof. For this one, I wanted to bring the proof down a little bit, and we have really enjoyed lately the wheated bourbons. The wheated bourbons bring a different, softer, creamier element to it. And so as a result of that, and it's been a minute since we've had it, I decided to choose the Green River wheated bourbon as our spirit for this one. So, shall we get mixing?
Yeah, I do like my whiskey like I like my men. Uncut.
Oh my. Was that another banana joke?
Well, there were a couple different options for that setup. I could have said, Scottish and twice my age. That also would have been applicable. My preferred choice actually probably would have been stuffed in a barrel and forgotten about for 7 years. But,
but yeah.
But yes, good choice. Good choice. I do, for someone who's still trying to explore all the different whiskey options, you've been very patient with trying to give me little samples of things here or there. I've enjoyed the weeded options, and I appreciate also lower proofs. Still trying to savor the burn and learn how to do that.
Takes a while to savor that.
Yes. So great stuff.
Fast forward a little bit. Father's Day, maybe a little bit higher proof.
It will be. By a lot. It won't drink that way.
Nope.
We'll see. You'll see. Stay tuned.
Let's make this cocktail.
Let's do it. And we're back. As you can see, the cocktail was fairly straightforward.
Banana hands.
Yeah. And it looked, right now it looks pretty effing amazing. What all did you put in there?
So I used the Green River weeded bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's got creme de banana, creme de dark cocoa.
Mm.
It has Demerara rich syrup.
Mm-hmm.
And just a hint of allspice dram.
Just a hint.
Just a hint.
Mm. Well, it looks good to me. What say you, folks? And
then sitting right on top
what
is
is
dark chocolate covered banana chip.
Oh, and a sprinkle of sea salt?
And I put a little bit of that Pacific Northwest sea salt.
Nice.
Thanks, Faith.
Smells amazeballs. Let's try it.
Cheers.
Cheers. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
And to all y'all watching and listening. Holy smokes.
Pretty tasty, yeah?
Yes. That's almost like banana cream pie, only boozy. And without like a crust. I'm not tasting anything.
There's some good dark chocolate on
a
that.
crust in there, but yeah, yes.
That creme de dark cocoa is, I love that liqueur.
And you got this idea, you were on vacation You had it. You had the ingredients list off of the menu, and you just brought it home and said, "I'm going to fix it." Disney did it right. Savor the Burn can do it better.
We got home and we started looking through photos, and we're
lawsuit.
Right.
So we got home and we started looking through photos and talking about, what was your favorite drink? What was your favorite thing to eat or whatever? And then, we started talking about this one, and I'm looking on my phone and I'm like, I was blanking on and remembering what it was. And it wasn't until you found the photo on your phone that had the dark chocolate banana chip on there, which was the giveaway that's what it was. And so I was like, all right. So started doing some research. You mentioned after I told you what the name of the cocktail was, you're like, I can't find that anywhere online. And so I'm like, yeah, I had the same problem. You have to search for Banana Hands Swan Reserve Disney, and then the bar Stir will pop up, and you can get to that, and that gets you to the PDF menu where they have the description of Banana Hands.
And this ended up being one of my favorite drinks that I had, and it was one of also the last drinks that I had. We went to Epcot the day before. That was the whole impetus for the trip, was to drink around the world. And so we had, 11 plus some additional ones, cocktails or drinks while we were doing
Remember that Stein you guys had.
Yeah. And
cool.
So we definitely had some winners out of that bunch. We also had some maybe last place contenders, but the next day was kind of intended to be a recovery day. And so we ended up...
recovery day.
Yeah. Turns out we didn't do much recovering, but we went hotel hopping and just kind of, tried out all the different little... niched little places in the resorts. And then this was probably maybe even the penultimate drink that we had. I don't think it was our very last one, but we ended up giving that a whirl, and it was really, really good.
And never mind, on that recovery day, I bought the most expensive flight I've ever had of whiskey. That was my Pappy's and George C. Stagg flight.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah. But I may have done some encouraging on that, so I know.
No regrets.
Yeah.
Or regrets.
No regrets. Not even one letter. So, right, as they say, when in Rome, right? So when in Epcot, when in Disney World, having this experience, you're not always going to have access to certain bottles at certain prices.
Right. So, do we use this opportunity on camera in front of you listeners to give this guy a little bit of grief?
Me?
Because here recently, based off of photos that were posted, you went on a trip with your lady, and
her idea. I was her prisoner. I had nothing to do with it. Anyway, what were you saying?
And I knew you were going to Florida, but I you hadn't said specifically, and I hadn't really paid attention. But my investigative discovery expert over here was like...
Investigative journalism. That's what we call it.
What she said.
Yeah.
Saw that you guys were in Disney Springs.
Yes.
And your dinner of choice was Rainforest Cafe.
Yeah. I'm like, I've never been. She really wanted to go. So we put it in the map thing, and it took us to Disney Springs.
How was it?
It could have been better.
Yeah, that is resoundingly the feedback about that place, is that you go there for the atmosphere.
The atmosphere, 10 out of 10.
Yes.
Super top notch.
You do not go there for the food.
The waitresses, they all had the servers, if you will. They all had a certain thing about them when they, I'm having a good time. It was too much. I couldn't take it, but bless their hearts, they were sweet as could be.
How would it make you feel to know that the whiskey bar that I sent you the picture of all
right
those
across the street
amazing was just
the Blind
just
Pig.
a block down.
They were closed by the time we got out of there. Like everything was, not everything, but nearly everything was closed. I was like, yeah. When you told me that, I was like, oh my God, I could have had that. I could have had that flight, and then reverse engineering the whole thought process there. I'm like, no,
you could have had
they were closed by them.
You could have had a Michter's 20 year. Oh wait,
yeah.
We already have.
We did. Yes, thank you, Joe and Rick. We're on a first name basis because kind of a big deal. They know us. We know them.
That was such a good visit with the Michter's crew.
How many times did it take hearing we're kind of a big deal or it's for the podcast? Did you get absolutely sick of hearing it?
I'll keep that maybe confidential.
The number of times might be kind of hard to narrow down. Maybe length of time.
Yeah, so I'll keep that confidential. But I do support Wayne's hobbies, and by proxy, of course, Jonathan. So that's why I do the treats. That's why I hang out with the little one to make sure that he's not poking his head down here.
We heard thunder earlier.
Right.
Thunderfoot.
Blowing across the ceiling here.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the cat doesn't listen to me as much, so you will hear some jingle jangle of bells and desperate meows since he hasn't been fed in 30 minutes.
But, bless his heart.
Every once in a while, we also smell.
Yeah. Sometimes when we're trying to get a nose off of our whiskey, he gives us a little extra nose, his own little influence. Yes. So I took a bite into this bark. Is that what we're calling it? Bark? Yeah.
So good.
I think like you had said, I don't know if it was on camera or off camera, but chocolate and peanuts, it's a winning combination. Like you just cannot go wrong unless you're allergic to them.
And they can go really wrong.
It can be a damn nightmare. But hey, I've always loved it.
So overall, you digging the cocktail?
Absolutely.
It's definitely on the sweeter side, which I know that you always say you have the sweet tooth from hell. And I also could definitely gravitate towards sweeter cocktails. So the one thing that I have to say about this cocktail that I don't love is the garnish. I feel like the garnish does nothing for the cocktail whatsoever. You're not picking up any flavors, especially aesthetically.
I agree with that too, actually.
It's brown.
You can't really tell what it is.
And it looks, I don't know, but you're not picking up any flavors from it. These are, I did double check. They're actually covered in legitimate dark chocolate as opposed to the, hydrogen, like the oils and things like that. But still, like I just feel like it's not really contributing much. I think in the past you've done cocktails with like a bruleed banana slice. I think that would make a world of difference for this. And so next time, maybe you zhuzh it up a little bit.
And then like drag it or whatever in some chocolate.
It's funny because I actually had that thought, but I recoiled a little bit to stay true to the cocktail that we had. But I thought, I wasn't thinking necessarily doing a torch on the sugar, but I thought, what if I did a thin slice of banana? Doesn't even need to be skewered, but what if I did a thin slice on the banana, put that as the glue to the cube, and then the chocolate banana chip on top of that, just to give a little bit more banana to the top of that.
I think it's got plenty of banana.
So it definitely has, that creme de banana is
if you guys remember last year for the Mother's Day episode, there was a bit of a catastrophe with the just like a PB&J.
Well, they didn't see anything.
They didn't see it,
but they heard us talking about it.
Yeah, and so luckily the day was saved because of some Howlerhead banana whiskey, not a banana liqueur like what we have here, I believe, right?
Yes.
But it was it's relatively the same thing, only just not nearly as sweet, right? But anyway, so we use that as an old fashioned, and that just song and dance. I mean, it was 10 times better than the ruin of a cocktail that we thought was going to be a good idea.
That was so, and the thing is,
I was sad. I was like, man, I really thought this was going to be amazing.
That video that ended up being the inspiration for that has thousands upon thousands of views. And I mean, that guy's channel gets a lot of. He has a lot. He has a lot of subscribers, a lot of viewers. He gets a lot of things. That video, and so I'm like, It sounded good. It sounded like a really good idea and a simple, easy to execute idea. I don't think I messed up. Maybe I messed it up. I don't know.
I don't think if you followed his recipe, then no, you didn't.
Yeah, and I'm not interested in having you try again. It wasn't. It wasn't worth it.
I don't like grape
soda. Generally not on.
I don't like grape soda enough to buy another one.
No.
Neither one of you.
No.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of grape soda at all.
Yeah.
All right.
But for the cocktail, I was like, let's get grape soda. That's going to be the jelly in this cocktail.
Yeah. I do love me some grape soda, but the one that Jennifer suggested, the one I brought over, I was, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
Like, I love you, hun, but that was not a good. No. Yeah. Bad.
I'm glad that both of you also we're on the same page, because again, as someone who is
almost immediate.
Yeah, as someone who is still on a whiskey, I don't even know if I want to say still on a whiskey journey, who's not even on the path of a whiskey journey just yet. I mean, when I'm looking at a cocktail bottle, I'm kind of using the same philosophy on picking a bottle as I use for picking a book from a bookstore. Do I like the front? Do I like the back? Mm-hmm. Is it going to fuck me up for $14? And so that's my stipulation, right? And
right there is why presentation is part of our review rating system.
Mm-hmm. But when I had a sip of that cocktail, I was like, okay, suck it up. It's fine. But then I looked over the rim at the both of you and you're making a face that I'm like, okay.
And then we're like, let's own this. Yeah. This is terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
But excellent save with the banana old fashioned.
Yeah, but that old fashioned I don't think holds a candle to this one. This one's a notch up.
Mm-hmm. This is totally different. Mm-hmm. Totally different. Mostly because of the addition of the chocolate. Chocolate influence in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got banana, you got chocolate, you got a great rich demerara.
Yeah. Well, if I request a second one, do you think you can brulee me a banana? We got some bananas that also need to get used up.
Absolutely.
Well,
what time is it?
You know our favorite thing to do with bananas? Make banana bread. Or at least eat the banana bread. I don't know about making it. I've made it a few times. It's fun. Yeah. It's interesting. But eating the banana bread? Yes. Sharing the banana bread? Yes. Mm-hmm. I love taking it to work and just, making people happy.
What's a good combination for you in banana bread? Because I do kind of zhuzh it up every time.
You made a banana bread. It had, I think, cinnamon in there and maybe chocolate chips. Mm-hmm. But I remember there was cinnamon in there. I was like, this is in the upper echelon of better banana breads that we've had. And you did have one that had chocolate chips, I think, maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago now, whatever. That one was really excellent as well.
The one that sticks out in my head was the cast iron skillet banana bread.
Well, did that one have the chocolate chips in it?
It had chocolate chips in there, and because it was in the cast iron skillet, the photos were
off the charts. Stupid cool.
They were amazing because it was in the cast iron skillet. It rose perfectly. It had the crispy edges, not Anakin crispy.
Rude.
I had to.
How about them Chiefs?
Well, they're at home taking advantage of their off season right now. So
hopefully they're all working out and getting stronger, better than ever, ready to rock and roll for the upcoming season. Anakin Skywalker. Why did I have to bring that up? I've heard about it ever since that date dropped.
Why did I have to bring it up again? Well, because
you want to see me squirm.
It's fun.
Off camera while he was making the cocktail, I saw him squirm for a while. So it's fun, it's fun, good times.
Fantastic treat. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you for inviting me back.
Yeah, and as a special thank you to you and everything that you do for Savor the Burn and for joining us here on this Mother's Day episode. We wanted to get together and give you something a little special, some little yummy tasty treats. What are these? What do we call these?
My favorites. That's what they're called.
Mm-hmm. They have a French name, which I'm not entirely confident how to pronounce.
They're so dark.
Yes.
Nonpareils.
Oh, those are
Nonpareils.
Those are dark chocolate nonpareils.
Yeah.
This is the reason like why I love M&M's so much. Because you get the chocolate and the crunch. And so nonpareils are very much so the same. That you get the chocolate and then also the crunch of the nonpareils.
Maybe a little extra chocolate though.
I thought M&M was like a white boy from St. Joseph, Missouri.
Okay. Haven't eaten that M&M, but
okay.
Definitely the peanut butter M&Ms. We were just talking about the lovely juxtaposition of chocolate and peanut butter.
Peanut butter M&Ms. So,
yes.
So good.
Yes. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. These are some of my favorites and really appreciate that. They're basically, you're familiar with snow caps maybe. If you've been to a movie, snow caps, they're that. So. But excellent stuff.
Honestly, like the way we talk about you when you're not paying attention, it's nothing but good. And this doesn't scratch the surface as to how, grateful and thankful we are that you are every bit of a part of the Savor the Burn podcast as we are. Oh. And we really, honestly, on camera, off camera, I don't care. We couldn't do this without you.
Oh,
so 100%. Thank you so much. And,
thank
you. We both love you. And we really hope that you enjoy these nonpareils, which means no equal in French. Come to find out.
The more you know.
The more you know.
Good stuff.
That'd be a fun graphic
to
put on there. So, no matter who you are and who your mama is and where you are and what you're drinking and who you're drinking it with, never forget, ladies and gentlemen, boils and ghouls, keep on burning.